Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. By now you've seen it from the President of the United States. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed the Presidential Working Group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, SOL, and ADA. I will make sure the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world. We are making America great again. I, along with Jack the Rippler, thought it was significant that the president mentioned XRP as the first crypto reserve asset. As you can imagine, the Bitcoin and Ethereum disciples were very upset that they were left out. So they cried and complained, and eventually Donald Trump posted, and obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum, as other valuable cryptocurrencies, will be at the heart of the reserve. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, guys, I should tell you, a lot of these Bitcoin guys, they believe that Bitcoin should be the only coin in the strategic crypto reserve, right? I think that that's a bad idea, and I'll tell you why. Take a screenshot. XRP is faster, 3 to 5 seconds to settle. Bitcoin, minimum 500 seconds to settle. Low cost, 0.0002 per transaction. Bitcoin, 50 cents per transaction. Scalable, 1,500 transactions per second on XRP, 3 over at Bitcoin. Sustainable, environmentally sustainable, negligible energy consumption. Bitcoin currently 0.3% of global energy consumption. Guys, do you realize that XRP being in the strategic reserve might actually save it? Might actually save Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin was going to collapse even further today if Trump didn't come out and save it with that second post. And there it is, guys, at the time of this recording, about 5 p.m. in Chicago. I've got XRP at 292, up 33.24% for the day, with volume up 411.51%. Congratulations if you're long. Now, guys, in my opinion, we have entered a very treacherous season in the U.S., geopolitically speaking, and in the capital markets. Knowing what's going to happen and when is critical now, mostly because of how many things can happen that you can't put on a calendar. Black swans, for example. But having an events calendar specific to your portfolio can give you an advantage. So let's put in the work. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is crop out the weekends. Then I need to tell you that someone from the Fed Reserve is speaking every day this week except Wednesday. What makes that 4 weeks in a row? So I put an FOMC on the calendar for this week for every day they are scheduled to speak. Why? Because there's a war going on in Washington. There's a war going on Wall Street. The Fed does not want to lower interest rates. The Fed does not want to be audited. The Fed does not want to help President Trump. They can and will fight back against the White House. When Fed members speak, it's usually a non-event. But Powell is sending them out en masse every week now, and they can and do spook the markets with their comments. As of right now, they have 9 speaking engagements this week. Monday, March 3rd, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, manufacturing PMI. Remember, we need to watch everything now because the financial media will downplay or ignore any good news and highlight anything that can hurt the market. Why? To hurt Trump. Wednesday, March 5th, 8:15, ADP employment, followed by services PMI at 9:45. Thursday, March 6th, 8:30, initial jobless claims, U.S. productivity, and U.S. trade deficit. Now pay close attention to jobless claims. We just had a huge surprise to the upside. That comes out every Thursday morning. There are lots of people getting fired and laid off, so I expect this number to remain hot. The deep state bitches will overstate their expectations to manipulate public opinion, and Wall Street and the White House will use this number to demand rate cuts. Friday, March 7th, 8:30, U.S. jobs report and unemployment rate. That's the biggest thing on the calendar for the week. But we also have, on that day, the first crypto roundtable at the White House. Crypto and AI czar David Sachs and prominent founders, CEOs, and investors will convene at the White House with the president. News could come out of that summit. Now, this is Dr. Erica McIntarfer, the Commissioner of Labor Statistics over at the BLS. She was nominated by President Biden. This is who we get our jobs data from. She has a PhD in econ and wants to be addressed as doctor. Got it. She has a bachelor's in social science from Bard. Tell me this one doesn't own a Subaru. So let me ask you, do you think she'll be honest and impartial? Do you believe this is a Trump supporter? Now let's add some more big stuff. Wednesday, March 12th, 8:30 a.m., CPI, Consumer Price Index. Thursday, March 13th, jobless claims again at 8:30, but also PPI, the Producer Price Index. Friday, March 14th, 10 a.m., preliminary consumer sentiment from the University of Moscow up in Michigan. I have to watch that manipulated bullshit because the press has been using it to smear the administration, and it has spooked the market multiple times this year. These people aren't interviewing people like me, I can tell you that. My expectations for 2025 are pretty clear. I expect my income to rise, and it already has. I expect my taxes to go down because that's what Trump did the last time he was in office. I expect oil and gas to go down because he campaigned on drill, baby, drill. Since most commodities move on gas, I expect inflation to eventually go down. I'm not overly concerned about tariffs because I know this president uses them as a negotiating tool to get the country better trade deals and to force manufacturers to repatriate their factories to the U.S. like Apple just did, but nobody wants to talk about it. I expect interest rates to go down, and mortgage rates have done just that. The 30-year just hit a new low for 2025. Now, the University of Michigan isn't asking for my opinion because my opinion's based on facts. They're asking the blue-haired, kale latte drinking pronoun people that are convinced President Trump is going to deport all their trans friends, which he is not. Hey, optimal projection. Purim begins at sundown on Thursday the 13th, followed by a full moon on Friday. I've even got a lanky kid running through the forests up in Michigan, tracking the stars so we could find out when the VIX will come down again. But now you can see why all the economic data coming out this month is getting amped up. We've got an FOMC meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday, March 18th and 19th. But before that, we have St. Patrick's Day, Monday the 17th. Did you know the S&P 500 ends higher on March 17th 80% of the time? St. Patrick's Day has historically been one of the best days of the year for Wall Street, boasting one of the strongest records for positive returns. For earnings this week, some of you may remember Plug Power. They'll report before the bell on Monday. EVgo will report Tuesday morning, but I'm excited about Rigetti and Marvell on Wednesday after the close, and Broadcom or AVgo Thursday after the bell. Billionaire Israel Englander is buying these two quantum computing stocks. Should you? Izzy recently bought Rigetti Computing, or RGTI, and D-Wave Quantum, or QBTS. Both are quantum computing stocks, and investors have been particularly active in trading them after Microsoft's Majorana 1 announcement. I'll have you know, Izzy owns the hedge fund Millennium. That's one of the guys that kicked the shit out of us in AMC. You might be surprised to learn that Izzy also is long Archer Aviation. Billionaire Israel Englander is selling Nvidia and Palantir and buying a new stock that Wall Street thinks can soar as much as 151%. Israel Englander's investment fund, Millennium, purchased shares of Archer Aviation in the third quarter of 2024. The purchase made Millennium the 11th largest shareholder in Archer. Tonight, I want to close with this headline: hedge funds selling indexes at fastest pace in a year. From the article, amid this past week's stock sell-off, hedge funds jumped in to short the market. Goldman Sachs prime brokerage desk said hedge funds net sold macro products, which are indexes and ETFs combined, at the fastest pace in over a year, driven by short sales and, to a lesser extent, long sales 2-to-1. Within North America, this week's notional net selling in U.S. macro products was the largest since April of 2024 and ranks in the 97th percentile versus the past 5 years. U.S. listed ETF shorts increased 5.4% on our prime book this week, the largest increase in 2 months. So now you know what they're doing, and I have only two things to say. Be prepared if they're right about the market, but also be prepared if they're wrong. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.